Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my May 2019 horoscope report for you, where I will give you the need-to-knows for your sign, plus talk about the general transits that no doubt will be affecting you. I'll let you know the places where the stars are in beautiful harmony and the possibilities that are open from those connections, as well as the places where the stars are in conflict and the challenges that could come from those connections. And resources, ideas, tips on how to use that energy and understand the energy to create alchemy in your life and have the most graceful and productive month possible. Definitely go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com, where I have lots of resources for you on your journey, including a very extensive astrology blog. You can see my new moon and full moon blogs that can help you make the most of those portals of energy that open every couple of weeks. You can sign up for a live reading at my site, and you can also sign up for my astrology apprenticeship program if you resonate with how I teach astrology and you would love to learn. Check out my new book, Radical Prayer, Transform Your Life and the World in 28 Days, which is an Amazon bestseller. You can see that on Amazon or at radicalprayerbook.com. So let's see what the stars have for you this month. Hello, Capricorn friends. Okay, let's talk about what May has in store for you from the starry perspective. We've got certain planets like the sun who are going to bring some brightness and lightness to your day and your life this month, because as the sun continues to move through Taurus, it's making the most favorable aspect in all of astrology to your sign. So you're going to get kisses from the sun. At the same time, you're going to get a bit of antagonism from the planets that are moving through Aries, because Aries makes a 90-degree angle with your placements, which is challenging. So you will have some sweetness that comes with us. You will have some challenges that come. So there's also some awkwardness that comes from the placement of Mars. So whenever I see a lineup of more planets that are moving through elements that aren't as in great synastry to the sign that we're talking about, then we know that this is going to be an opportunity for you to have some breakthroughs. And because I'm an optimist and because I'm focused on self-development, the way that I frame any challenges that I see in the chart is that it's all a potential to lead you to something. Everybody has things in their lives that they would like to be better, or that they're working on or evolving, or that they'd like to see some shifts or breakthroughs. And sometimes we see breakthroughs when we have the sweet energy. But in general, like those big pushes where we break out of a matrix, those tend to happen when the planets are in more of a conflict with our placements. So you have opportunities. So take the blessings that you have from the sun that are going to come, and I will show you on the charts what this looks like. Also, just know that you are going to have to push through some things. There will be some annoyance, there will be some obstacles, but you will be able to push through these things. I know with your ambitions, you can push through, and your chance for cracking the matrix and stepping into a new level of reality is more probable because of the energies at play. Also, probably likely, you will see some shifts to your schedule this month, or more busyness at work, or some changes to your normal structure or rhythm. So look out for that. You also might have some oomph in your health area where you're feeling really motivated, or having extra energy around trying to find health solutions or health improvement, or finding great practitioners. There's a lot of energy around that for you as well. So I'm going to pop the charts in and give you some more information about what's going on with the visual aids. So we can also see where planets are concentrated this month. So in general, the fourth house, which is the house of home and family, is going to see some notable activity for each early, middle, and late degree placement. So expect some home-related things, home-related news. And sometimes this is home and family in like your actual house. Sometimes people will move. Sometimes there will be real estate deals, or if you're in real estate, or you work from home, or you do something else centered around houses, sometimes this energy can bring a focus to those things. So if you have some kind of housing or home related project, then very likely this month you're going to see notable activity in that sector. So let's check the charts out so that you can see these visuals for yourself, and then I'll come back on the screen and I will tell you about the general transits, dates to watch, and some other things you need to know about the month. Okay, so some of the things that I talk about will be for all Capricorn placements, but there will be times that I'll differentiate between the early, middle, and late degree. So early degree Caps, you're the December born, or 0 to 9 degrees. If you're watching for your rising, or your sun sign, or you're watching for your moon. Middle degrees, January 10th, or 1st through 10th, or 10 to 19 degrees. And late Capricorn, January 11th, or through the rest of the sign, or 20 to 29 degrees. Now, if you missed that, just do me a favor and just rewind it really quick so that you can have it established, so you know where you're at as we move forward here. Get that out of the way. Okay, so the first thing that I want to note, and it doesn't matter which chart we use for this, we'll just use the middle, but this is going to be true for everybody. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the sun making the 120-degree angle, which is the most favorable in all of astrology, to your Cap placement. So early degree placements, you would have felt these kisses from the sun like the last 10 days, somewhere in the last 10 days of April. And you middle to late degree people, you will experience this through the beginning of May through around the 22nd. So somewhere in there, you will get your kiss from the sun. It's a beautiful, conducive energy that flows really well with how you are and who you are. So that's one of the beautiful highlights of the month. The antagonism comes from these placements in Aries. Okay, so this antagonism did start before now. So in April and in May, as this square angle, it's a 90-degree angle that's made between Aries and Capricorn, it puts pressure. It's the kind of pressure that I always talk about that makes a diamond. You know, the way diamonds get to be the way they are, that looks like a diamond, but it's a massive amount of pressure under the earth. They're just like pressure, 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 and they create a diamond. So this is like diamond energy. For people doing self-development, and for other people who aren't yet, but maybe are open to it, the way that you look at life affects how you experience these things. So if you look at, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? This is terrible. Everything sucks. Then that's a very disempowered way to go through life, and things are going to be more difficult. But if you understand what's happening and you say, okay, there are going to be some challenges. We're going to have some squares. There's going to be some squares. There's going to be some pressure, but there's going to be opportunity for me to break through the matrix and step into a better reality. Then I'm going to actively use that energy and take action and do what needs to happen. Okay, so those things will definitely be present. I talked about Mars being in the 6th house, so we can see let me just make this more clear because I don't have this. Start with, okay, so you can see for the early, Mars is in the 6th. For the middle, Mars is in the 6th. And then for the late, Mars is in the 5th, but it will get to the 6th later in the month. Okay, so let's talk about what Mars means in each of these places. Everyone, early, middle, and late degree placements, will experience the energy of Mars in the 6th house at some point this month. Some of you, it will be all of it, all of the month, and some of you, it will be part of it. Busyness, oomph, focus in the area of the 6th house. This has to do with pets and animals. This has to do with health, and it has to do with your work. So if you're self-employed or if you're at an office, your office work. So oomph, could bring drama, could bring, just things that have to be done, could bring extra time, could bring business, because this is really great for business and work, could bring in a job. And also this is the health house. So your health regimen could be getting focused, or you could be getting medical tests or looking into something or having breakthroughs with your health or symptoms that have to be dealt with. Also, Mars in this sector will, especially because it's in Gemini, can bring disruptions to your daily routine. So you might have had a certain rhythm going like this, and then all of a sudden this time comes and it's like, oh, now your day looks like this. It's like totally different, So expect some changes there as Mars in Gemini moves through and breaks things up a little bit. Okay. Those of you with birthdays around the 10th or so of January, and the days before and after, you're having Saturn and transiting South Node, bringing up massive karma and some, challenges and heaviness in your life. Sometimes, again, it's a major breakthrough, that comes from the stress and pressure. Sometimes it's just heaviness, pressure, until the placement passes. But if you're a Capricorn that's wondered what the heck has been going on over the recent years, then it's Saturn. So like specifically the very end of 2017, all of 2018, all of 2019, Saturn was just crushing these Capricorn placements like little bugs, or bringing major manifestation and accomplishment, or both. I have a lot of Capricorn placements myself, so I've been going through this with you, and I also have a ton of Sag placements, and before Capricorn was in, or Saturn was in Capricorn, it was in Sag. So even though I know these placements professionally very well, personally, I've gone through like a strong Saturnian experience in many of the recent years. And that has, it brings it right into the forefront of my mind. So I understand this one really well. So those of you whose birthdays are after like January 1st, January 2nd or so, actually we'll say all of you for the December born up until around January 1st or 2nd, you all are in the clear as far as Saturn's transit, okay? Because Saturn is going to retrograde, but it's going to get back to 13 degrees. So if you are between 13 degrees and 29 degrees, your Cap placement, Saturn is still working on you. And that's from now until the end of December 2020. So the rest of 2019 and the rest of 2020, those of you who are like January 3rd-ish and after, or 13 to 29 degrees, Saturn is working with you. So Saturn is going to test your foundation. Saturn is going to bring massive amounts of pressure. And it could be very depressing. Many people get seriously depressed from this transit. And do tend to feel better after the transit. I have to mention this every time just because I know it's going to help people. Omegas, specifically fish oil, but if you're a vegetarian, look for the alternative omegas. But fish oil, like a high quality one, the one I use is omega-3, omega and then the number 3 innovations.com, because I know the scientists that make it, and it's the only formula I know of that's not rancid. And anyway, this can make a huge difference in your mental state. And that's for any Cap, even if you're in the earlier part. And, anybody that you know that has depression, check with your doctor, because there could be conflicts, and I'm not a doctor, but I have seen serotonin levels be shot by Saturn transits. Actual medical effects from this transit. So if you're bummed out, this could be why. So you need to do more serotonin boosting activities, and just know that Saturn wants you to get more disciplined in certain areas, usually not the areas you're already disciplined in. So just kind of usually in the emotional inner work arena is where some discipline is wanted. I've seen as this happens. Okay, so those are the things most on my mind for Capricorn. So now let's look at those general transits. I'm going to talk more about what you can expect this month, including certain dates to look out for. So let's go into all that now. So I'm calling the theme of May 2019 for all signs, conquer the obstacles and gain the rewards, because this month we've got all kinds of obstacles, but there's actually more sweet energy than there are challenging energies. And there are going to be things to get through, but you have a lot on your side for getting past them with flying colors. The factors that flip the switch towards action in April are still at play very much this month in May. So we have the first month in a long time without having a personal planet retrograde, either shadow period or the actual retrograde, as part of the equation. So in April, even though Mercury was not retrograde, the whole first half of April, the post-shadow period from Mercury was still in effect. Now here in May, we don't have Mercury, Venus, Mars, the personal planets at all retrograde, nor do we have any of their shadow periods for the transit. So we don't have that to impede progress. At the same time, there are multiple placements in very grounded Taurus, and Jupiter is still retrograde, and Saturn is now going retrograde, and all of these factors can serve to balance ambitions, adding more of a streamlined approach. So you'll hear me talking about this theme for a while, because there are multiple factors in the stars that are really telling us to get super efficient with our energy. So you'll have more opportunities this month to really get stuff done, but at the same time, there are challenges to overcome, and there is this sort of reevaluation of the things that you've brought out and checking in and strengthening to see what you need for future expansion. There are many great aspects in Gemini or with Mercury, which rules Gemini this month. So that's going to bring lots of communication, lots of movement, lots of busyness, brilliant social opportunities. We'll have advancement of writing and other creative projects, anything having to do with travel, upgrading communication devices and modes of transportation. All of those things are in the Mercury Gemini domain. So expect a lot of focus in those areas of life. And there are a lot of beautiful aspects that can help boost those efforts. At the same time, there are also a number of clashes with the energy. I'd say more good effects than challenging ones, but we still have to look out for them and you still will have to overcome them. So there could be some mini slowdowns or drama that come from those challenges. As with April, in May, there's also a hurriedness that goes along with a lot of these energies, and that is could lend itself to unnecessary injuries or accidents or wasting time or just not paying attention to things that can come from that distractedness. So definitely be extra aware and breathe and try to stay centered as you move your body and as you're communicating and as you're carrying through all of these things that want to come through this month. So Jupiter is still in retrograde, and this is one of the factors I referred to earlier. It's asking us to pull in a little bit and to carefully evaluate these next steps. So we want to conserve energy while making the most impact. And Jupiter was on an expansion spree for a while, and things are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then as it's been in retrograde, now it's a time to shore up the foundation for the future expansion. So the theme of creating systems that fix situations where you were spread too thin is going to continue this month. And also, as with April, the energy of fewer brilliantly placed efforts rather than a whole bunch of haphazard efforts, the best that you can. Now, it's not going to be super easy to do that in some ways because we do have a lot of energy in Aries, we do have a lot of energy in Gemini, besides that grounded Taurus, which does kind of the glue that helps it all hold together. But it will be busy, it will be scattered, and there will be a lot going on. In general, there are a ton of awesome transits this month. And like I said, more sweet days than challenging ones, but for the beginning of the month and the end of the month, especially, like everything away from just like the exact middle of the month pretty much, every time there's a sweet aspect, there's a super challenging one, and a lot of times the same exact day. And it's just kind of crazy. So that means that there will be obstacles to get through to gain the rewards, which is why I call the theme of the month that, expect some challenges. It's not going to be like you just walk up to the gates of the place that you're trying to go and you just walk in, It always reminds me of Paperboy, that game Paperboy, when like the guy's just trying to deliver his newspapers and there's like crazy people and dogs and stuff just like trying to get in his way, right? That's what life feels like sometimes. But you can maneuver around it and get the papers delivered this month for sure. But it's going to take work to get to your goals and consistency. So there's a beautiful flow of sweet transits between May 11th and May 18th. There are some challenging ones around the 11th and there are some challenging ones around the 18th. But all the time in between there, like right in the mid-month, is just sweet aspects, so many sweet aspects every day. So if you have to do something important and you need to have oomph without antagonism, your best time of the month to launch and try to push things through is the middle of the month, because that will be where you don't have this contradictory force at every moment like there is for the rest of the month. Okay, so if you want more details about what aspects are happening on what days and what can go along with that, definitely sign up for my free email newsletter, anniehelpsyou.com. And when you sign up for my free email newsletter, you also get, as a wonderful free gift, my entire 28-day virtual coaching package for free. So that will keep you on the list where you'll get these monthly write-ups a month ahead, where I give you the details and the overview of the month so you can see the days that have challenges and what you're working with there and the ones that are sweets if you're trying to plan ahead of time, as many people are. I'm going to hit just a couple of highlights, and then you can see the rest of the details at anniehelpsyou.com when you sign up for my free newsletter. Okay, so in the beginning of the month, the first couple of days, we've got sweet aspects and challenging ones just right next to each other. We've got the new moon on May 4th. That's the new moon in Taurus. So definitely make your new moon wishes. And you can see my blog about that for more details. If you just search for Making Powerful New Moon in Taurus Wishes, Annie, you will find it. But this has a beautiful aspect with Neptune on that day. So I expect some sweetness there sandwiched in between some of the challenges. Look out for overexertion and overcommitment in those days, like right there at the end of the week. Definitely take full advantage of those days between May 11th and May 18th for anything important, big steps, commitments, signing paperwork, launching things. They're just like so many beautiful things. I also love travel at that time. And really this whole month is amazing for travel. You just have to be really careful as you're doing it and aware. Careful and awareful is what I say. Okay, let's see. There was one other thing I wanted to point out here. The full moon on May 18th. The full moon is at 27 degrees of Scorpio, and that also has a conjunction with Venus and Uranus. So this is really important. So let's just take this piece by piece. We've had multiple months in a row where we've had full moons that are centered around relationships, okay? Because we had 2 Libra full moons in a row, and now we have a Scorpio full moon. And the Libra and Scorpio are these relationship houses. So there may be some major drama at this time, or there could be wonderful breakthroughs within relationships or of any kind, or things coming to be revealed that were hidden before, or just sweet moments, a culmination of something sweet within a relationship. Of any kind. So fullness, drama, completion, breakthroughs, things like that in the areas of Scorpio. But the wild card here is this energy of Venus and Venus and Uranus, because whenever Uranus is involved, it's like things out of the blue, surprises, jostling, and it could be better for better or worse, So Venus rules love and money and self-esteem. So Uranus coming in here often can mean like conflict or fight or something surprise within a relationship that is a challenge. But sometimes it's like a marriage, proposal or something that comes out of the blue, and that's a culmination of this, relationship energy. So it could really be something sweet like that, but we just never know when Uranus is involved. So expect intensity. I always, we all have to live our lives and we have to work and do what we have to do, but if you can leave the full moon a little bit open so that if some challenges come up and you can be present for them, then you might be grateful for that. So try to be well rested. That's the other thing that I recommend when Uranus is involved, because if something comes out of the blue and you have to deal with it, at least if you're well rested and calm going into it, it will be easier for you to handle it in the most graceful way. In general, since the energy of Venus and Uranus are both in Taurus, this is, earth energy. This is like ground breaking, ground shaking energy. And sometimes it can be quite literally. Uranus and Taurus has already been very much associated with the waking up of the volcanoes over the last year. And, the other earth changes that come from that and earth effects that come from that, wild weather and things like that, that are related to the earth and the atmosphere. So, just kind of be aware at those times that there's more energy and more power, and just follow your intuition as far as where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. So those are the things that are most on my mind for this month. Definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com, sign up for my free email newsletter, get my Shine 28-day virtual coaching program for free, get these written version of these general reports in your inbox a month early. You can sign up for a live reading there. You can see more about my vocational courses that I have, including my astrology apprenticeship program, where I can teach you how to use astrology for your personal or professional purposes. And I have lots of other things on my website, like subliminal audios that help you to train your brain in the direction of things that you want. So you can see all that at anniehelpsyou.com. Definitely check out my book, Radical Prayer, Transform Your Life in the World in 28 Days. If you are interested if you're a spiritual seeker and you want to align your energies with that of the divine and have the most easy, graceful life possible, this is your little friend. I made it in a nice portable size. It's a beautiful book on the inside and out for you to take with you and use the power of affirmation and prayer to transform your life and the world in positive ways. So you can see that at radicalprayerbook.com. It's an Amazon bestseller. You can go to my husband's website, iamhelios.com, iamhelios.com. He's got all kinds of goodies there. He does astrology readings and tarot readings. And if you'd like written horoscopes by me, plus other lifestyle blogs for natural living, you can go to cozybysweetstarlight.com and see my written horoscopes for you for each sign a month early each month. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.